Chapter 21, Leaving a Legacy. Although Mary Kay Cosmetics was created as the dream of one woman, it has long since achieved an independent existence. And because our company is grounded in a solid foundation of specific values and principles, its continuance no longer depends upon any single person. Business analysts have often asked me, Mary Kay Cosmetics to this point has been a business phenomenon, but certainly everything has gone well for this company, but what's going to happen when you're no longer here? I explained to them that perhaps there once was a time when the company depended upon me for its existence. The success of just about any new business hinges on the daily presence of one or two key individuals. But we've come a long way since 1963. Our sales force now consists of hundreds of thousands of skilled sales professionals, and they are supported by an experienced management team. We stopped being a 1 or 2 person company years ago. We would have never realized our present strength if we had not. Mary Kay Cosmetics isn't the only company that has been identified with one individual. In fact, the founders of many American businesses have been people with very high profiles. During the early days of Ford Motor Company, there were many people who believed it could not survive without Henry Ford, but it did. Another example is DuPont Chemicals. This company was controlled by one family for 150 years. There was a great concern when, at long last, an outsider became the chief executive officer. But today, DuPont is one of the largest chemical companies in the world. Well-managed businesses will survive any change at the top. If a business can't go forward and prosper without its founder, then I'd say that the founder failed to do his or her job in developing a strong professional management team. I believe our greatest strength at Mary Kay is our people. As I said earlier, we're not only in the cosmetics business, we are in the people business. And as a people-oriented company, our primary goal is to offer women career opportunities. In turn, these women fulfill the needs of still other women by teaching them good skincare. In other words, our whole reason for existence is to give people the opportunity to enrich their lives. We also follow the principle inside the company as we encourage every employee to grow towards his or her full potential. Without those wonderful people, there would be no Mary Kay Cosmetics. Of course, it's important to realize that every company has a natural turnover of people as time goes by. This is simply the nature of human existence. But a company remains strong because of its philosophy. A company with a strong basic philosophy can survive anything, even a major change in its products. For example, DuPont was one of the country's major suppliers of gunpowder for the War of 1812 until World War I. Rockwell International, the large aerospace company, was at the time the manufacturer of parking and taxi meters, and American Express started out as the Pony Express. All of those companies have successfully adapted to change, and as a result are still going strong. People change, even products change, but over the course of time, it's the strength of the company's philosophy that will determine whether or not it endures. The Mary Kay philosophy rests upon 3 simple and beautiful ideas. The first and most important is the golden rule. We teach our people to treat each other as they themselves would like to be treated. Sometimes we call this our go-give spirit. And we accord special recognition to those individuals who show that spirit in outstanding ways. It's a spirit of sharing and caring for the other person. Many outsiders believe it just can't work, but we know that it does work. Our people cheerfully give of their time and experience without thought of what they might receive in return. The second cornerstone of our philosophy is our belief in the right priorities: God first, family second, and career third. I know many corporate chiefs who think we have our list upside down, but we feel that a person cannot do a professional job if his or her personal life is in conflict. We're perfectly satisfied to be in third place. Our third cornerstone is our belief in the beautiful potential inside every human being. We believe with lots of praise and encouragement, everyone can be successful. So many women have come to us lacking self-confidence. Well, I'll try, they say. I might, if I can. We teach them to throw away those thoughts and replace them with I can, I will, I must. Over the years, we've found that positive encouragement and sincere praise work wonders. Everyone can be great. The seeds of greatness are planted within us all, and God expects each of us to reach deep within ourselves and bring them into fruition. The countless success stories within our company are proof of this truth. The continued success of our company depends on these three philosophical beliefs, not upon me. For that reason, I've made certain that everyone in our organization knows how strongly we feel about these concepts. Every management decision is based on our philosophy. Every new consultant is recruited on the basis of these beliefs and taught to live by them. When a consultant climbs our ladder of success and comes to Dallas for our new director development, I once again reinforce our philosophy with her and her class. We've had thousands of women who have gone through our programs in a very real sense. Each of them is the safekeeper of Mary Kay spirit and philosophy. Each director is the one I'm counting on to uphold our standards by reflecting our commitment to honesty and integrity. It took God a long time to get me ready for the job that he had for me. All my years of experience, trial and error, hard work, and disappointment were necessary before I could be guided to form this company. We are fortunate to have my son Richard as a chairman and board of Mary Kay Cosmetics. Richard has made me so very proud and won the hearts of our people with his business acumen. Whatever the reason, someday I will no longer be here. When that day comes, I know our national sales directors will carry on magnificently in my place. Every one of them began as a beauty consultant and climbed the ladder of success right to the top. Our consultants and directors know that, so the nationals will continue to serve as wonderful role models. I used to refer to these women as the Mary Kays of the future. But today, they already are me. They carry the torch of our philosophy and standards. Therefore, I know that whatever the future may bring, my philosophy will be perpetuated. Years ago, I worried about what might happen to the company if I were no longer involved. I felt a deep responsibility to the thousands and thousands of people associated with Mary Kay Cosmetics. The company had come so far so quickly, and I wanted to be certain it could grow and prosper without me. It had helped so many beautiful women that I wanted to know that those golden opportunities would always be there. I was possessed with a desire to leave a legacy. I know now that my legacy is assured. The company has my name, but it also has a life of its own. And its life's blood is the philosophy that many thousands of women have made a part of their lives. They embody the philosophy of sharing and giving, and as such, it will always live on. Chief Executive Officer and co-founder Mary Kay's son, Richard Rogers, was 20 when the company was founded. He well remembers the long days and determination it took to bring his mother's dream to life. In those days, I was going from bank to bank, trying to borrow the money we needed to grow the business, he said. I even grew a mustache because I thought it made me look older. I'm sure that after we left those bankers' offices, they would talk about this kid and his mother who sell cosmetics, and they want to borrow how much money? But we persisted. Although, as Mary Kay put it, the fledgling company initially didn't always set the world on fire. It was prosperous from the beginning, like every endeavor she undertook. Simply put, she believed in increase and abundance. It was on that faith that she founded this rare company, taking God as her business partner from day one. For a time, company stock was traded publicly, but the family repurchased all the shares in 1985. Mary Kay's dream is too important, Richard told the Independent Sales Force of 2001. After all, no other entity in the world would understand that Mother's dream ministers to the welfare of humankind. Her dream continues to bless all those associated with it. Led by independent national sales directors whom Mary Kay entrusted to carry her vision into the future, an international sales force of nearly 1 million women spanning 5 continents embraces the mission of enriching women's lives. As for success, the numbers speak for themselves. Sales had doubled since Mary Kay penned the 1994 epilogue to the book, while the sales force, the lifeblood of Mary Kay's grand adventure, nearly tripled in size. The same year, 74 independent national sales directors had earned $1 million or more in commissions during the Mary Kay careers. In 2003, nearly 200 women achieved millionaire status, and many of them multimillionaire. One had achieved $10 million in a career commission. The impressive numbers don't paint the whole picture, however, for behind them lie thousands of stories of women who rose from homemaker to superstar businesswoman, from minimum wage earner to maximum income. Compelling tales of women who overcame obstacles of every kind to achieve independence, fulfillment, and greater self-esteem, and yes, financial freedom. A pink paradigm shift. In 1963, Mary Kay resigned from her previous career as national training director with another direct selling company when yet another man she had trained had just been promoted past her at twice her salary. As she looked back on her life, Mary Kay observed, in 1995, those men didn't believe a woman had brain matter at all. I learned back then that as long as men didn't believe women could do anything, women were never going to have a chance. So with a 25-year direct sales career under her business belt, she created precisely the opportunities she believed women needed. Hers was a theory-making effort that empowered women by enabling them so they could in turn enable others. Year after year, Mary Kay poured belief into women, many of whom didn't think they had much to offer the business world. Mary Kay readily admitted she wasn't as interested in the dollars and cents side of the business as the people side. To her, P&L meant people in love. My interest in starting Mary Kay Inc., she said, was to offer women opportunities that didn't exist anywhere else. That's why she pioneered concepts such as flexible hours, career portability, and a solid set of values for living and working that sprang from her own priorities: God first, family second, and career third. Motivational speaker and author Zig Ziglar, a close acquaintance, has described her this way: Mary Kay was the wholesome personification of the American dream. For women everywhere, she brought the impossible dream of life by making it a reality. She was a very wise lady. She was a people person. She was very sensitive to the importance of recognizing people. John P. Cotter, a professor specializing in leadership at Harvard Business School, noted the difference between Mary Kay and traditional business leaders. She was an extraordinary business leader in an age when far too many people running corporations are competent managers, but nothing more. He told the Dallas Morning News after her death, she was also a great entrepreneur. Harvard Business School is one among many colleges that uses her bestseller, Mary Kay on People Management, as an educational resource. Other companies are said to include this book on reading lists for their managers. All 3 of their books were bestsellers, including You Can Have It All in 1995. Forbes magazine recognized Mary Kay's rare qualities when in 1996 it included her in its greatest business stories of all time. Mary Kay Inc. was one of only 20 companies profiled. Mary Kay Ash was the only woman. 2 years later, Mary Kay Inc. was one of only 14 companies and one of the most prominently featured in Good Company, Caring as Fiercely as You Compete. The book highlights many of the principles and practices that have resulted in Mary Kay Inc. being named one of the 100 best companies to work for in America 3 different times. Mary Kay Inc. also was noted as one of the 10 best companies for women. A business book about Mary Kay's principles became a national bestseller in 2003. Her natural sensitivity was heightened by her own disappointing experiences. Before founding her company, Mary Kay consistently set new sales records and won top prizes. She was competitive to the core, and no accolade went unwon. But once a luscious prize did elude her. That was the year that the competitor walked away with the top prize, an elegant alligator handbag Mary Kay loved at first sight. The next year, she won the top award only to discover that Stanley Corporation had changed the price she had set her goal for from the year before. At the 30th anniversary celebration of her own company, in appreciation of her vast contributions to the industry, a Stanley Corporation executive appeared on stage at a seminar in 1993 to present Mary Kay with her very own alligator handbag. His quote sums up how that company felt about its one-time star. Mary Kay considers this handbag to be the prize that got away, he said. At Stanley, we consider the prize that got away to be Mary Kay. Mary Kay wanted to raise awareness of women's innate abilities. She had been denied a promotion for thinking like a woman. That thinking included the belief that women can contribute successfully to their families, their communities, their countries, and the world by maintaining the femininity that's uniquely theirs. Mary Kay believed that women should earn what they're worth, lifting up other women along with them. In a competitive business world, she gently but firmly urged women not to compete against others, but to compete with themselves, eclipsing their own records and soaring to heights they never before thought possible. The press compared her to the entrepreneurial legends, first in Dallas, then nationally and internationally. But in truth, Mary Kay constituted a singular phenomenon, a woman affecting the lives of women in a unique way. Her brilliance transcended a paycheck or the ascent up the corporate ladder. Mary Kay touched women's souls in a way that no one in the business world has ever before or since. Her impact on the world of women cannot be overstated. Viewers of Lifetime, the women-oriented cable television network, voted throughout 1999 for the most outstanding woman in business in the 20th century. Mary Kay won that vote by a landslide. At the end of the 20th century, the industry trade publication Women's Wear Daily named her one of the 6 women who changed the face of cosmetic industry. Considering all her contributions, Mary Kay was astonishingly real. She was a classic steel magnolia, said her hometown newspaper in a page-one story that was picked up all over the world after her death. Tough-minded and tender-hearted, proudly feminine to her Texas core. Amid the accolades and adoring fans, Mary Kay never forgot her roots. The little girl born in Hot Wells, Texas, at the end of World War I, who kept house and cared for her ill daddy while her mother worked to put food on the table, was as down-to-earth as she was dazzling. What you saw with Mary Kay was what you got, and what you got was simply her all. Along with high-quality creams, skin fresheners, and foundations, Mary Kay marketed a better quality of life. Her own life reflected what she taught. If you sacrifice your relationship with God and your family in the name of success, true success has eluded you. This queen of pink, who opened the door to a glamorous lifestyle for millions of women, had a home-loving side that savored simple pleasures. She enjoyed gathering, cooking, and collecting books and shopping for her own groceries. She was frugal despite her wealth. Mary Kay treasured girlfriends' moments with the independent sales force. She loved traveling with them on the company's famous reward trips, shopping together in Hong Kong or Rome or Paris or some exotic port of call for the local Best Buys, or sitting in the bed in the hotel room later, swapping stories and comparing shopping notes. She was the same Mary Kay at work as she was at play, although because she loved so much what she did for a living, the line between the two blurred. In fact, well into her years as chairman emeritus, she remained a faithful member of the 5 o'clock club, rising every morning before dawn, I can hardly wait to get started on my day, she enthused. That's because I always plan to make sure I have something exciting to look forward to. When someone told her the Mary Kay brand held a 10% market share, a huge number considering the competitive cosmetic industry, her response was, "Let's get busy on the other 90%. Indeed, she knew how to seize the opportunity and maximize every moment given her. She was known for her organizational skills and multitasking abilities, but Mary Kay forever retained her trademark personal touch. All people from her husband to her housekeeper to the scores of women who stood in line for an autograph were important to her. A cheerful workaholic, she openly referred to the business of advancing women over most other activities. As if all those attributes weren't enough, Mary Kay was incredibly and spontaneously funny, as anyone who ever heard her speak can attest. Her quips were as quick as her heart was gentle. When she was featured on CBS 60 Minutes with Morley Safer, she showed her innate ability to think on her feet when she uttered what has become a legendary comeback to the question of using God. The two had been exchanging friendly banter when Safer said, "Mary Kay, I've been around here for a couple of days, and every time I turn around, I hear the word of God. Aren't you really just using God?" Sweetly and quickly looking him straight in the eye, Mary Kay replied, "No, Mr. Safer, I sincerely hope it's the other way around, that God is using me." A writer for Savvy magazine once interviewed her for the cover story and raised the subject of pink Cadillacs, a company reward. Mary Kay often found herself, if not defending, at least explaining to the media. When the story was published, the cover headline read, "Mary Kay, so you think pink Cadillacs are tacky? What color was the car your company gave you?" She loved that line and used it many times. Later in her career, when a network anchor asked her her age off camera, Mary Kay replied, "How much do you weigh?" She spoke the language of hope. Mary Kay was deeply and genuinely touched by the heart's cry of women bound by poverty or poor treatment or poor self-esteem, or thousands of other things that can hold them back. Her concern was worldwide in scope. In the early 1990s, Mary Kay clearly understood the impact of her opportunity could provide women throughout the world. Shortly after Germany was reunified, she made an appearance in 1990 at a company meeting there and was moved to tears when a woman on stage took the microphone and spoke breathlessly in broken English. "First we get freedom, now we get Mary Kay." That woman's exuberant joy symbolizes the burst of hope for a new life that women thousands of miles from Dallas, Texas have discovered through Mary Kay. Today, women across 5 continents are building their own Mary Kay businesses, often amid economic uncertainty, even in the worst of economies. Members of the Mary Kay independent sales force find that they can earn far more in their Mary Kay business than would be possible in other available jobs. In remote areas, some travel 2 days or more to purchase their inventory of Mary Kay products and travel 12 hours by airplane to attend company meetings. But they persist, determined not to lose their grasp on the dream. Even some government officials in formerly communist countries have practiced Mary Kay principles in their jobs, acknowledging her prowess and motivating people to excellence. After 40 years, and the universal appeal of Mary Kay's message is fully resonating worldwide. Throughout this company, there are numerous examples of what we in the Mary Kay world call I stories, or women's before and after testimonies. One common denominator prevails. Wherever they call home, diversity is their hallmark. Graduates of Harvard Business School and women with advanced degrees in dozens of fields work alongside high school dropouts and government aid recipients seeking a better life. A Mary Kay business is appealing to former software engineers and medical professionals, to lifelong housewives, nannies, and women farmers. They all share the unshakable belief that following Mary Kay's example will lead them to success. On a daily basis, they provide the fruits to prove her right. Mary Kay once wrote to international Salesforce leaders, "I'm so proud of our national sales directors around the world who are taking the Mary Kay dream into the future. No greater opportunity for women exists than the one we have to offer. The Mary Kay family throughout the world is on a roll. My dream is to liberate and empower women. Now rests in your hands." Then, using her trademark phrase, she urged them on with, "You can do it." Mary Kay's constant praise and encouragement are legendary, and she will continue to inspire generations to come. Through her writings and audio tapes and video productions, speaking to women's hearts in the language they understand. Mary Kay was careful never to pressure others to adopt her beliefs, and the company takes pride in the religious, racial, and cultural diversity of its independent sales force. Mary Kay had deeply ingrained spiritual beliefs. Her first job was as a church secretary. Then, in her early 20s, she became superintendent of the beginners classes for all the Baptist churches in town. "What a joy. I love the opportunity to teach and develop teaching programs," she wrote. "It was the perfect application for my natural skills as an organizer, persuader, and idea person." Her humble faith extended to every aspect of her life. She credited God with planting the seeds for her company and helping her to nourish them into fruition. But Mary Kay's destiny didn't develop overnight. Her words give encouragement to anyone who's ever wondered when she, too, would realize her potential. "As I look back, I realize that it took a long time for God to get me ready for the responsibility he was going to give me. In essence, to create a company that would give women a chance to break through the glass ceiling. And when God had me ready, Mary Kay Inc. was born." Mary Kay again expressed her heartfelt faith when she posed this thought-provoking scenario in an oral history. "When you get to the bottom line, it doesn't matter how much money you've made, how big your house is, or how many cars you own. Each of us will come to that day when we must ask ourselves whether or not our lives have been meaningful." Through the years, Mary Kay was recognized repeatedly for her Christian testimony through awards, appearances, and publications. She was included in the 100 Christian Women Who Changed the 20th Century. She was featured in Dr. Robert Schuller's Hour of Power program and received the Christian Excellence Award in Business for the International Association of Women in Leadership. She was named Church Woman of the Year by the Religious Heritage of America and was honored as Woman of the Year by the Crystal Cathedral Christian Executive Women. And she made several appearances on the 700 Club with Pat Robertson. The landmark volume, Mary Kay on People Management, is based on her principles for managing the Golden Rule. "Do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. I believe we have found success because God has led us all the way," she wrote. For Mary Kay, a person's spiritual condition could not be separate from her success. One would very likely determine the other. Mother and daughters, an everlasting bond of love. Even as Mary Kay was being recognized abundantly by both secular and Christian worlds, her cup was overflowing in another, more personal way. God blessed her with the love and devotion of hundreds of thousands of women who recognized how much she gave of herself to them. Mary Kay saw each one as her sisters or daughters. They showered her with love and respect, and in turn she gave again and again, receiving her goodness in return many times over in a never-ending cycle of love, seed time, and harvest. Mary Kay was so proud of the fact that mothers would share their love of the business with their daughters and vice versa. Today they are both mother, daughter, and sister teams and have risen to the position of independent national sales directors. There are many inspiring examples of the caring spirit Mary Kay nurtured. One young Mary Kay mother was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 32. She continued her Mary Kay business through the 9 years of chemotherapy and 19 surgeries. Her mother has a Mary Kay business and, along with her daughter, is among the longest-running Mary Kay mother-daughter teams, 34 years strong. Today, that cancer survivor is an independent sales director at the pinnacle of the sales force. Mary Kay was always there during the tough times and the good times, she said. She was like a second mother to me. She taught me to dream. She taught me the value of choice. I had the choice to give up and have pity party or to fight. As a result, I'm still here. Her daughter has joined her in her Mary Kay career, extending the family affair to a third generation. She believed in us, observed an independent national sales director whose income broke company records in 2002 before we could believe in ourselves. The thing that impressed me most about Mary Kay was her ability to focus totally on the person with whom she was speaking, recalled another. She never took her eyes away from mine as she spoke the words of love and encouragement that touched my heart. She was in the moment with you, making you feel you were the most important person in the world. She forever changed my life through those precious moments. Many of the letters that poured in by the thousands, paying tribute to Mary Kay upon her death, echo similar sentiments. The circumstances of which they speak aren't always dire, but their constant theme is to reveal how Mary Kay breathed belief into them and changed their lives nonetheless. For others, Mary Kay's passing has meant renewed zeal to carry on her legacy. How significant that Mary Kay left us on Thanksgiving Day when we all have so much to be thankful for because she lived, wrote independent executive senior sales director. Mary Kay Inc. was so much more than a company to Mary Kay. It was her dream in action. When impetus we now have to carry on her dream. There are probably business analysts out there who think Mary Kay's dream will falter without her, but we know better, don't we? Because we are the dream. We've got that Mary Kay enthusiasm. At the annual eye-popping extravaganza known as Seminar, Mary Kay women are applauded and extolled like movie stars and royalty. They walk across the stage of honor most never dreamed could be theirs, reaping the rewards of their diligent work. When she designed her reward system, Mary Kay made sure her opportunity differed from others in one important respect. Whereas traditional sales contests often rewarded only the top 2 or 3 people, Mary Kay's system rewarded everyone who meets the predetermined goal. Each woman is honored according to her achievements. Each woman also learns to compete against herself, to beat her best, so to speak. Mary Kay made sure that the company recognition celebrates hard work in the way that women appreciate. And part of the appreciation is spelled WHEELS. While the renowned Career Car program is the most recognizable symbol of the Mary Kay's reward system, other prizes Mary Kay women cherish include precious gems and fabulous trips. In other words, gifts women typically don't buy for themselves, or as Mary Kay called them, Cinderella gifts. Glamour, that's what it's all about, Mary Kay would say. These women want glamour, and they worked hard to get it. They may not have been the debutante or the prom queen, but they may never be Miss America. So at awards night, we try to put all that together for one tremendous, unforgettable experience. Some ask, why all the extravagance? Mary Kay's generosity was inherent in her belief in sharing. It also stemmed from the number of occasions she felt contest prizes were real losers. She never forgot the way she felt in the early days of her direct selling career when she received a guy prize, one she thought inappropriate for a woman. She learned the lesson well, and she relished telling that what became of that famous Mary Kay story about winning the notorious flounder light and contraption worn along the hip boots for night fishing. I kept that flounder light around for years, she said, just to remind myself if I ever get into a position of giving awards, to never give a woman a flounder light. Rewards of the Mary Kay lifestyle are intangible as well. Mary Kay women are, in effect, presidents of their own companies, yet they give freely of themselves to help build other women's businesses, often without financial reward, because Mary showed them the paycheck of the heart. that makes such a giving worthwhile. That message translates across cultures with universal appeal. Mary Kay's women from near and far catch the vision and incorporate it into their own lives, often despite great odds. One independent national sales director, a former engineer in the Eastern European country with an emerging economy, offers proof. These successful women showed me that by working with Mary Kay Business, I could become independent, change my life, and realize my personal dreams. I think so many women in my country would like to have the same opportunity. For me, Mary Kay is a way of changing lives by recognizing our priorities and using the golden rule. Her attention to recognition has drawn admiration from the business community. Ryan Rogers and Mary Kay's grandson and a member of the company's board of directors accepted the award when Junior Achievement inducted Mary Kay into the 2002 Dallas Business Hall of Fame. This remarkable woman built an extraordinary business empire based on recognizing the accomplishments of others. He said, because she never stopped rewarding those around her, it's appropriate to honor her with an enduring place among other great business leaders. A place in the heart. Many visitors to Dallas tour the Mary Kay building, among the most elegant corporate headquarters in the United States. On the main floor, the Mary Kay Museum comprises of more than 3,000 square foot of showcases, literally thousands of items relating to the company's history and Mary Kay's own life. Few companies of this size and fewer still privately held family-owned business companies offer a heritage museum of this magnitude. Our past at Mary Kay is an object of pride. Our heritage is a covenanted tradition meant to be carried forward. In 2002, the museum expanded to include a Hall of Honor that Chairman Richard Rogers called an everlasting tribute to each Mary Kay independent national sales director. You have answered Mary Kay's call to lead others, he said of this prestigious group. You are the first of many generations of leaders to carry her torch throughout the world to give meaning to her life in a new country. Mary Kay, born with a giving heart, but her life experiences enlarged it. In 1996, she endowed the Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation to fund research that she hoped someday would prevent the suffering and death from cancer that took her beloved husband, Mel. Initially, the foundation's mission centered on eliminating cancers that affect women. In 2000, that mission grew to encompass another cancer in the land, domestic violence. The foundation awards cash grants to notice cancer research around the world. In 2001, it underwrote with the corporation the groundbreaking PBS documentary about domestic violence titled Breaking the Silence, Journeys of Hope. The foundation also supports women's shelters nationwide through cash grants. In 2002, the Direct Selling Association presented its Vision for Tomorrow award to Mary Kay Inc. for the trailblazing campaign to stop domestic violence. The honor annually recognizes a company whose efforts have substantially improved the quality of life in its community. The Los Angeles Commission on Assaults Against Women honored Mary Kay Inc. with its Corporate Humanitarian of the Year award also in 2002. Ryan Rogers accepted on Mary Kay's behalf. Mary Kay proposal philosophies developed into a company that spread opportunities and hope. He said, this goes beyond financial independence for women, helping to build a foundation of self-confidence, the confidence needed to break away from abusive situations or reach out and give hope to a friend in need. Over the years, Mary Kay was honored repeatedly by industry, religious, and community groups. In 1978, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale presented her with the Horatio Alger Distinguished American Citizen Award. She said that one of the high points in her life, and she especially enjoyed the scholarship programs that it supports. In 1992, Mary Kay co-presented the award along with poet Maya that inducted Oprah Winfrey into this prestigious society. Mary Kay was the first recipient of the National Sales Hall of Fame Award and received the Circle of Honor Award from the Direct Selling Education Foundation in 1989. 3 years later, the foundation again honored her with the Living Legend Award. In her 1994 epilogue, she credited the company employees. Behind every living legend, there is a solid foundation. To my way of thinking, it is our employees who have served in that role. These are those people who corporate excellence earned us that distinction. I'm very proud of them. Mary Kay saw into the future and devised a Salesforce succession plan that would serve as an ingenious way for her brilliance to continue illuminating women's lives. In 1971, the position of independent sales director, the top echelon of the Mary Kay Independent Sales Force, was created. She knew she was replacing herself. Her son, Richard Rogers, in 2002's speech to the sales force, she knew the independent sales directors shared her vision and that someday, when she couldn't be there, they would carry the torch representing her principles and beliefs. She knew that this dream is larger than life, larger than my life, and larger than just one generation. She lifted the fortunes and esteem of legions of women who joined her as beauty consultants, wrote one journalist after her death. She led the way for generations of women, wrote another, giving thousands of tools and encouragement to succeed. They took confidence from that success and applied it to other pursuits, both personal and professional, and they almost certainly raised their own daughters with an ever greater sense of responsibility. That chain of progress is a living tribute to Miss Ashe, who understood the importance of living life to the fullest. At the time of her death, Mary Kay was chairman emeritus of a multi-billion-dollar company. Beneath the heady title, however, beat the heart of a humble woman who wanted women to see themselves as she saw them. Beautiful gifts from God, capable of achieving anything, if they worked hard enough and were willing to pay the price. Her goodness was worth far more than her wealth. Mother fervently believed that all you send into the lives of others does indeed come back into your own, Richard told the gathering at Mary Kay's memorial service. She felt that if you were focused on helping others, the golden rule way of life would soon follow. Her true greatness was the ability to inspire, the wisdom to praise other people to success, and literally bring out the greatness in everyone. She cared so much about all of us. She shared so much with all of us, and she went home to her Lord knowing that she made the world a better place. When Mary Kay discovered an anonymous poem in Australia in early 1970, she felt at once that it captured her intent towards tens of thousands of daughters. Mary Kay spoke and wrote the following verse many times over the years, and magnificent sculpture interpretation today graces the lobby of corporate headquarters. On silver wings, I have a premonition that soars on silver wings. It's a dream of your accomplishment of many wondrous things. I do not know beneath which sky or where you'll challenge fate. I only know it will be high. I only know it will be great. That same spirit, that same old bold confidence lives on because Mary Kay fully entrusts the independent sales force leaders with her legacy. She knew the future of her dream was assured, and that the memory of all she was and all she did will remain vividly alive. To me, life is no brief candle, she said. It's a splendid torch that I want to burn brightly before I pass it on to the future generations.